Thanks for joining me today, Brian. It seems like we seem to talk about supply chain every other week, and I know it's a really hot topic for our retail and consumer goods customers. So how is SaaS helping our customers find everything they need?
Well, first, Richard, I hope you don't mind all the notes I've been writing on the wall. I've been thinking through this problem for a long time. But in all seriousness, we are helping customers really build their proficiency with analytics, machine learning, and AI. You have to understand what's the art of the possible so you can start to build the confidence in what you want to do in your organization. And we believe we have the most productive analytics AI platform on the market to help customers build that proficiency. The second is customers need a persistent data and analytics strategy. And what I mean by that is, and I think you've talked about, if you could share some of the scale of the numbers you see with retailers and CPG companies.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the data explosion we've seen, especially over the last couple of years, and you think about a typical big box retailer, they've got tens of thousands, if not, hundreds of thousands of SKUs in a typical box, and they may have thousands of stores around the world, and they're looking at that data every single day. So you quickly do the math, that's a lot of data people are going to try and consume.
Yeah, and I think when we build our software, we think about the first question is, how do we let enable our customers to get their arms around the data? What data do you have? What are their connections in that data? What are the quality improvements I can make on that data? And then eventually, what are the modeling techniques that I can combine to get different insights from that data and ultimately make better decisions to react to the dynamics in the market. That's what we talk about a persistent data and analytics strategy is all about. And I would say the third item we think about is scaling your decision making. What I mean by that is it's around companies, inspiring companies to tackle big, challenging problems that they were perceived to be unsolvable. And the reason this matters is because it really incentivizes the organization to say, if we can solve that problem with data and analytics and machine learning and AI, then all of a sudden they start to think, what else is possible in the organization? That's what I mean by scaling the decision making. And leaders are really going to inspire the entire organization to drive this change in mindset, which is really, really important because you have to build this confidence really to tackle these types of problems.
Absolutely, really exciting. So I have to ask Brian, I keep hearing this buzzword around digital twin. So what's that all really about?
I kind of like to redefine it a little bit. There's digital twin, and I'll talk about something what I call the synthetic twin. For me, the digital twin is just a way to collect all the telemetry from real world things, right? Capture that history and bring that into a repository or a data lake or whatever, so you can kind of ask it questions and study the analysis, kind of backwards looking. But what if we could point machine learning algorithms against that historical data of the digital twin and create what I call a synthetic twin? And when you can do that, all of a sudden you can start to build out the what if scenarios. I can run a simulation of a scenario with different inputs and constraints of my environment and ask what are the probable outcomes based on those constraints environments. And when you can do that, you pretty much can get ahead of the problems that you think are high probability outcomes of what the market conditions are today. And I think you've talked about how can we help the retailer, CPG, and supply chain companies out there to really identify where there's a potential risk, help them understand the next best decision against that risk before the risk occurs.
Absolutely.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Predict a problem before it becomes a problem. It's a huge benefit in this industry today. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you, Brian, and good to see you again.
Thank you. Great to see you, Richard.